I'm a 50-year-old man, and for the past 23 years, I've been married to Amy, who's 48. Together, we have three wonderful children. Rachel, 22, who's embarked on her career after finishing college. Jake, 19, currently living in a college dorm, and Ava, 17, who's about to turn 18. Our children have mostly grown up, moving towards their own lives. Like any couple, Amy and I have faced our fair share of challenges over the years, but I never expected the devastating twist that recently turned my world upside down. A quiet day, when the house was empty, Amy confessed to me that for the past 2 years, she had been having an affair with a younger coworker named Matt, who is just 27. What's more, she revealed her intention to leave our marriage to pursue a future with him. I was blindsided. Hearing the words come out of her mouth was like a punch to the gut. I broke down, tears streaming down my face as I begged her to reconsider, to give our marriage another chance. But her response cut even deeper. She told me she couldn't stay in a marriage devoid of love and refused to continue wasting time. At first, I was shattered, pleading for her to stay. But something inside me snapped. I stood up, wiped away my tears, and told her to leave. She looked shocked, clearly unprepared for my sudden shift. Yet, I couldn't allow her to stay, not after such a betrayal. With a duffel bag already packed, she hugged me briefly, a hug I didn't reciprocate, and left. The moment she walked out the door, I collapsed onto the couch, crying until I felt completely numb. When Ava came home that evening, she immediately noticed something was wrong. My swollen eyes and broken demeanor said it all. Hesitating at first, I finally told her the truth. Watching her face crumble was heartbreaking. She quickly sprang into action, calling her siblings and my brother Eric to let them know what had happened. Eric, a solid and dependable man, didn't hesitate to step in. He arrived late that night and has been staying with me ever since, offering the stability I desperately needed during this chaos. The first week after Amy left was unbearable. My mental state was fragile. The betrayal haunted me every waking moment. Even with Eric's support and the comfort of my children, I felt like a shell of myself, struggling to find purpose in each day. Then, out of the blue, Amy called me. Her voice was trembling as she asked about the kids. I kept my tone neutral, but her tears soon spilled over the phone. She revealed that her grand plans with Matt had fallen apart. He didn't want anything serious and refused to let her move in. He made it clear that her age and the fact she had 3 children weren't compatible with his lifestyle. She was devastated, confessing she had been staying in a hotel for the past week. She begged me to let her come home, to give our marriage another chance. Her words stirred conflicting emotions within me. For a moment, I felt pity for her, but anger quickly replaced it. I told her in no uncertain terms that I wouldn't let her back. Her choices had consequences, and she needed to face them. I hung up, drained but resolute. The next morning, I woke to a flurry of angry messages from Amy. She accused me of turning the kids against her and being selfish. Yet I knew the truth. Our children made their own decision to cut ties with her. I refused to be manipulated into feeling guilty. Over the past week, I've reflected deeply on everything. Reaching out to friends and seeking advice from others, I've found overwhelming support for my decision. I realized how much I had doubted myself under Amy's manipulation. If I had given in, I would have opened the door to a future filled with mistrust and regret. Now, I'm focused on healing for myself and for my children. Amy made her choices, and while the pain of her betrayal will take time to fade, I know I've made the right decision. With the support of my loved ones, I'm determined to rebuild my life, one step at a time. I am absolutely resolute in my decision. Amy doesn't deserve another chance. No amount of apologies or claims of terrible mistakes can change that. Days have passed since I made my choice clear, yet Amy has been relentless, trying every tactic to sway me. She's guilt-tripped, gaslight, and apologized repeatedly, swearing she'd do anything to make amends for her affair. But honestly, I can't imagine why she thinks I'd even entertain the idea of reconciliation. This wasn't a small misstep. It was a deep, deliberate betrayal, and she still fails to fully grasp the magnitude of her actions. Despite her pleas, I'm certain she'll never truly understand the impact of what she's done. In the meantime, I've started feeling better. My daughter Ava has been checking in on me, and while I deeply appreciate her concern, I've reassured her that she doesn't need to put her life on hold to help with chores or support me. She has her own path, and I don't want her to feel burdened by my situation. My brother Eric, who's staying with us, has been a rock of practical support. While he's not the most emotionally expressive person, his presence has lifted some of the weight off my shoulders. I'm so grateful for him stepping up during this time, though I know he'll eventually return to his own life. For now, having him here is invaluable. On the legal side, I've taken decisive steps to ensure the divorce proceeds smoothly. The moment I realized Amy wasn't going to file, likely because she hoped to come back, I knew the responsibility fell to me. The process has been exhausting, and I dread the challenges ahead. Still, I find solace in knowing I did everything I could to salvage our marriage. The rest is on her. At least I'm spared the stress of a custody battle, as our kids are grown. It's a small mercy in the midst of this turmoil. Amy was officially served divorce papers, and her reaction was just as I expected, spiteful and full of blame. She's been bombarding me with nasty messages, accusing me of ruining her life and seeking revenge. She's even stooped to insulting my appearance, mocking my age and receding hairline. While those words sting, I recognize they're born of her own dissatisfaction. She wanted something thrilling and new, but now that her fantasy has crumbled, she's lashing out at me. Looking back, I regret ignoring the red flags in our relationship for so long. I loved her deeply, and that love blinded me to her flaws. Now, as she becomes my ex-wife, I see her for who she truly is. It's embarrassing to admit, but a small part of me still cares for her. That lingering sentiment is why I haven't completely cut her off, though I know I need to. Her increasingly toxic behavior leaves me no choice. I just need to summon the strength to sever all ties. Ironically, Amy's drama with Matt, the man she cheated with, has come to light. She posted an online rant accusing him of leading her on for 2 years, only to dump her because he didn't see a future with her. Former lovers of his chimed in, confirming he had been involved with multiple women at their office. It's a bitter twist for Amy, but one I can't help but see as karma. She destroyed our marriage for a fling, and now she's left humiliated and heartbroken. While part of me feels sorry for her, I also find satisfaction in knowing she's facing the consequences of her actions. Emotionally, I'm in a better place now than when this ordeal began. The divorce process is ongoing, and while it's still draining, I've gained clarity and distance. I can now see Amy without the emotional weight that once consumed me. Her infidelity is public knowledge, thanks to her own social media posts, which makes the legal proceedings simpler. I don't even need to provide evidence. She's done that herself. My kids remain distant from her, and I can't blame them. We're all focusing on moving forward in our own ways. I'm considering therapy to help process everything, but for now, my priority is getting through the divorce and rebuilding my life. The road ahead may be long, but I'm confident that time will heal these wounds.